Welcome to Saving America. This is a special update edition as we talk about the importance of Ukraine. Now, a number of conservative commentators and even some on the other side have argued that the United States does not have a dog in the fight. Why do we care if the Soviet Union jumps in and beats up the Ukrainians and maybe takes some of their border territory? And hey, maybe they take over the whole country. Why do we care? And there's certainly a strong rationale for that from the standpoint that Ukraine is almost half a world away, at least 5,000 miles from Houston, and about the same distance from Washington, D.C., as far as I know. And maybe that's a decent argument. And some of you pay attention to some of the things I've written and things I've said is I am against fighting losing operations. I am upset by the outcome of the Korean War. We should have just stomped North Korea. We wouldn't be dealing with the mess there now. We absolutely should never have entered Vietnam if we weren't prepared to wipe out North Vietnam and install a central government for the entire country. And we certainly shouldn't have spent 20 years and $1 trillion in Afghanistan and then had the disastrous debate and departure that we had back about 6 months ago now. And so, again, I am certainly not an interventionist, but what is different about Ukraine? Why do we care and why might we need to do more? Well, first of all, we've got a true dilemma in that putrefying pile of dog droppings in a suit known as the President of the United States had a disastrous 2-hour press conference recently where he muddled the waters about America's position on Ukraine. His handlers, his puppet masters, have spent the last few days trying to explain what is unexplainable, which is an incompetent bumbler who has made some incorrect statements. And it's very difficult to walk back what a US president has to say in public. And of course, Putin is paying attention. He had reportedly 125,000 troops on the Ukraine border, along with tanks and other artillery. And he added 10,000 more troops. So boy, he's really scared of Biden and his buddies. So this is certainly a very disconcerting situation. And I don't think anybody is scared off Putin. But why should we consider even in being involved with Ukraine? Well, first of all, this is a country that actually has a good relationship with the United States. Hey, Joe Biden's son, Hunter, made some millions of dollars working for a company in the Ukraine. How bad can it be? How far could we be away, even with Biden's administration? Number two, it seems to me that most of our European allies, whether they're committed today or not in public, would support a stop to Russia's expansion into Europe. And this is a great concern for me. Three, it ties in with the historical perspective on the situation. We only need to look back to the 1930s and remember the famous sage, those who cannot remember history are bound to repeat it. The late 1930s, Hitler suddenly rises to power. And one of the things he does once he solidifies power in Germany and Austria, he takes over Czechoslovakia and Poland. Chamberlain, that useless fop from Britain, and Franklin Roosevelt sign off on the deal. It was called appeasement. Yeah, how well did that work after Hitler took over France, nearly took over England, nearly secured all of Europe? But for a few stupid decisions like trying to bulldoze the Russians into Russia, he might have been successful at conquering all of Europe. but he made some critical errors. And the United States, while they entered the fight in the fourth quarter of that football game, showed him what it was all about. But we lost an enormous lead. We lost an enormous number of people, and the rest of the world lost even more. And the question is, do we allow Putin, a modern day Hitler, to take Ukraine and then, encouraged by that decision, to move into, say, Kazakhstan and some of the other countries that used to be part of the Soviet Union? Reports are that Putin, basically a real life Bond movie type villain, is attempting to reassemble the old Soviet Union. And there are many, many countries that are free today and happy to be free, who I don't think plan to become part of the Soviet Union. So the question is, at what point do we really step forward and defend an ally and establish a message that the United States means it when it wishes to have peace on earth and around the world? This is Dr. David D. Shine, special edition of Saving America.